Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg, and today we're going to be playing with a palette that I was so sad that I did not grab when it first came out. I wanted to, but just with other things going on, sometimes you gotta say no. You can't grab every single palette that comes out, but I always regretted not picking it up. The brand kept sneaking that they were going to re-release it closer to spooky season, and they did, and that is none other than the Nomad Cosmetics Ghost Town USA palette. I have wanted this since like they announced that it was coming out originally last year, but just again couldn't do it. But today we have got it. I did a poll on my Instagram between this and the Fuji 5 Lakes, and everyone definitely wanted to see me play with this first, so let's create a look. All right, so we have got the unicarton, which always has like really beautiful artwork and that on it. On the back, they've got the shades, and then it just sort of always has like their little kind of info on inspiration and all of that. I'm sure there's like a lot of videos already from when this originally came out with going into more detail about like the inspiration and that. I will end up including like swatches just because I would like to swatch the palette out, but it's definitely like not a new palette. Here is the inside. I can never remember exactly what this is called, but it's that shifty image they've got for the front. So cool, love that. And then the most important part is going on the inside. There's a big mirror, but I'm gonna try to not show that. So this is gonna be upside down to keep that out of frame. Here is the palette. I don't know why I'm like stuttering for words today. I just love how like moody and almost like a bit grungy, almost a little bit gothic grungy this is. I just really love this color story. I had gotten one of my first palettes from the brand was, I'm trying to remember how long ago now, if it was like 2 or 3 years ago. They had their Haunted Europe palette, which I do own that one still, and they did re-release that when they brought this one back. Currently, as I'm filming this, this palette and the Haunted Europe palette are both still available singly on their own, and then they also did a like duo bundle to save like a little bit of money if you were planning on buying both, getting both palettes in a bundle. So there's, you know, those options for that. If you don't know, like Nomad Cosmetics, like they're an indie brand, cruelty-free. They always like base their palettes around like a destination, and it's always really fun. Like they're just, I don't know, I love like the vibe that they get into with, you know, like sneaking and like building up to like their palette release, and like, you know, building up to like where like the next palette's gonna be like themed from. Like they always have like really fun guessing games where you can like win their palettes, and then when they release their palettes, there's always like a cause that they are contributing, you know, a portion of the proceeds from to that's in relation to the destination that the palette is themed off of. So I just think that's really amazing. Any interactions I've had with the brand have just been so wonderful. They just seem like they're just such kind-hearted, genuine people, and I couldn't be more than happy to support a brand. Like, not only do I love the products, and I know I gush about this every time I use a Nomad Cosmetics palette, but I absolutely adore them. So I'm gonna have information in like my description box for like, you know, like links to the palettes, and like the prices and all of that. I'm like, I bought these like this with my own money. I'm not affiliated with Nomad Cosmetics. I just love the brand and really want to share the love and support. There are lots of creators out there who do have like discount codes and that, so I highly recommend checking that out so you can support, you know, another fellow creator. You know, if you're going to buy the palette anyways, you know, why not get a little bit of a discount, and then also just, you know, kind of share some support with like, you know, content creator. So if you just kind of look up, you know, Nomad Cosmetics, like in whatever palette, like a lot of the creators who do have videos out there, again, have codes. So not to kind of drag this out any longer, let's just start creating a look because I'm just giddy with excitement to start playing with this and don't need to ramble on anymore. So I'm going to zoom you in and we'll get started. All right, so zoomed you in, getting started on the look. I haven't even swatched this yet, so I don't really kind of have too much of an idea of kind of the shades yet, but just looking at the palette, I think I'm especially drawn to this side, although this side looks stunning as well. But you know, I am a color girl, so I'm just instantly on like the less neutral side. And I think I want to do something where I'm going to like work with like these three and these three. I'm trying to decide like what side I want to do it in. Like I'm going to do some shades here and kind of have it cut out, and then I think like, you know, do like that whole sort of blown out kind of wing out here. And then I think we're also going to introduce like some graphic liner into that too. I might not do that on camera though, because I am absolute trash at trying to do graphic liner on camera. And then we'll also work with a shimmer or two. I don't know which one yet because they are all just so stunning. I just keep staring at this Ghost Train shade here. Like it's definitely like duo, if not multi-chrome. Hopefully you're catching how that's shifting there, and it just looks so sparkly. So yeah, I think we're going to just dig in and see where this look takes us. Okay, so I think I made up my mind, and I'm going to use, like, on the inner part of the eye, I'm going to go with, like, these three shades here, this sort of, like, turquoise to kind of, like, bluey gray tones, and then on the, like, wing part, we'll use these kind of, like, murky greens. So I'm going to start off with this shade here, which is Dead Man's Hand, and I'm just grabbing that on this small Morphe brush, and we're just going to start to create the shape. We will like clean up with like some micellar water, so I'm not too worried about how crisp the line is, but you know, I'm gonna also try not to like make a huge mess just so I don't have so much work cleaning everything up. But we're just gonna get an idea of sort of the shape that we want. And then I'll probably have to go back in with this shade again later just to like amp up like the depth and all of that. Okay, and then we're gonna grab this kind of pencil-esque brush. This is a Morphe JS13, but like your kind of typical fluffy pencil brush. And we're gonna go to the next shade to that previous one, which is Calamity Jane. And we're just going to start stamping this kind of right above where we have that previous shade. All right, and not worrying too much about the blend right now because we can fix that and finesse that once we have all our shades laid out. I'm going to go in with the lightest shade in that column, and that is Skinner's Saloon. Oh, and I'm picking that up on, it's another like Morphe brush. It's just like a small blender. It doesn't have like a number or anything. And we're just gonna start blending out. All right, now that we've sort of like established the initial shape and shades, we're just gonna go in and, I'm just gonna go in and go back and forth between all the colors just to like get like the right blend and level of depth between each shade. All right, so I caught up the other eye. I just wanted to show you, before I start with some graphic liner, I wanted to show you what it looked like after I had cleaned up. So I just went in with a Q-tip and some micellar water. I did it off camera because you don't need to see me do that every time. And I'm now going to, at least for this part here, going to put the graphic liner. I just want to put some right along the base of the shadow. So I've got like my little thing of water, and I'm going with the Gavissi Beauty Retro Liner in Slime. It's just this like gorgeous, the camera will focus. Sorry, I know it's, let me undo it. Maybe it'll be a bit easier. It's just this really amazing green. Hopefully. Anyways, sorry. I don't know why it's not focusing, but yeah, I just think it'll be really pretty with these shades, and I think it'll work well with the other shades as well. So, like I said kind of in the beginning, I'm not going to do the graphic liner on camera just because I need to generally get pretty up close to a mirror and everything just goes blurry then anyways. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll be back to start putting the shadow along the outer corner. So here we are so far. I think that is such a fun little pop with the liner, and now we're going to start working on that outer corner. So like I said, I'm going to go in with these greens here, and so I'm going to start off with this deepest shade, which looks kind of like a really deep, I don't know how to describe it, just like really deep brownish green, and it's called Arrested Decay. And I'm going to pick that up on this Milk Cosmetics like packer brush, and I'm mostly going to just sort of like kind of have it like on the tip of the brush just to help create that initial shape to the outer corner. We're not necessarily going for anything like super like precise in the line, but I don't want it to like drag down too much either. Normally if I want something like really sharp for the bottom, I'll use like some like face tape or whatever you call it. Right, then we're gonna grab this BH Cosmetics brush. It's just like a nice little shortened kind of a packer style brush, and we're going to go into the next, like the medium tone, which is Stagecoach Mary. And we're just gonna start to place that like on top of the previous shade. Okay. Tapped off a little too much of that. There we go. Right, and then grabbing another pencil brush, this is a Morphe M431, and we're gonna go in with the lightest shade right here. It's called Ghost Town. Seems like sort of a sage green, I guess. I don't know. You'd think I'd be better at describing colors, but I am not. We're just gonna start placing that on top of the previous shade. Bringing it all the way to the inside corner and not connecting it to the top stuff, but bringing it closer to that. And then like what we did with the inner corner, I'm just gonna go back and forth and re-intensify the shades that we've already laid down. All right, so before we do the lower lash line, I just went in with some eyeliner. I decided just to do like a black, so I went in with my go-to Milk Cosmetics, I can't remember what these are exactly called, but like they're their gel pencil liners in the shade Black Onyx. Just love that, if you can't tell by how short it's gotten. And then I'm just going to grab a small brush. This is it's from a Jessup set that I got sent quite a while ago. It's the more like kind of tapered beige handles, if you're looking to try to find this set. And then I'm going to, I think, just continue on like these shades down here. So I'm gonna hop back into that Arrested Decay, and we're just gonna start putting that right along the lash line, just so it helps like marry into like that outer corner. I'm going to grab that same brush that I used for Stagecoach Mary when I was like re-adding some of the shade, and I'm just going to go sort of on top of slash a little bit below that previous shade. And then ever so slightly I'm going to go in to Ghost Town, that lightest shade, and just do a final blend. Like I'm barely adding any of this. I'm really just trying to make sure that everything is looking blended and not too harsh, but I also don't want it like too blown out, which is amazing, but not what I'm going for with this look. All right, my go-to for any glitter, shimmer, what may have you, and that's the NYX glitter glue. We're gonna take that and this Morphe JH42. It's just a little kind of rounded flat brush. And we're going to start laying this down where we want to put shimmer. So I'm going to go on like the inner corner, lower lash a little bit, stamp that a bit. And then I'm going to like drag it up here a tinge, but I don't want it going like all the way through that. We're going to leave some of that just blank. This is just so we get a little bit of a spray of shimmer. All right, I swatched it with my finger and I think we have to. I really need to dip into this Ghost Train shade. So I'm gonna pick that up with the same brush that I used to apply the NYX glitter glue. And we're just gonna start stamping that everywhere we put that. So inner corner, lower lash, and carrying it up onto the lid a bit. All right, I really love how that looks. I just think it adds a nice pop to it. I do feel like I want to add something a little bit lighter to like the very edge of the inner corner. So I'm gonna go in with Rhyolite Nevada, I think is what that says. But it looks like it's this sort of like slightly pinky toned champagne color. And I'm just gonna jump in with that exact same brush and just pick up a very little bit of this. I still want that Ghost Train shade to be like the star, like shimmer wise, but I just feel like I need something a bit lighter just on the very front. Oh yeah, I feel like that makes a huge difference. I just think it helps sort of lead into the other shade. Okay, so that's where we are with the shadows. I am going to go like put on some lashes, a mascara, a lip, finish the look. I'm gonna add what I'm thinking of for like liner to the outer corner because I still feel like doing that. And then we'll just kind of come back to show you everything all together. And you know, that's pretty much it. We're just gonna show you how it looks all together. So be right back. And here we are, the finished look using the Nomad Cosmetics Ghost Town USA. I am just so overjoyed that I was able to get my hands on this with the re-release. It is just as amazing as I thought it was, and it was looking in everybody else's videos and looks, and I'm just like so full of joy to have it in my collection and further build up my Nomad Cosmetics palette collection because I just, again, love the brand, love what they do, you know, their vibe, their aesthetic, and then also the eyeshadow formula is just always a banger. So I don't know what else to say. It's amazing. Here is the look, a bit of a closer look at what we did. So I just added some of the graphic liner in like sort of a line, like outlined wing, just as a little like pop on the outer corner. And then I just applied my longtime favorite, the Ioni Full Foxy Drama half lashes. I love these. I checked actually at my local Dollar Tree today, but they didn't have any of them. So I keep checking there to always see if they've restocked or have more. But yeah, that is the look. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have a look coming soon with Fuji 5 Lakes. I still have every intention of playing with that, so don't you worry. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you liked the video, I greatly appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe. I'd love to have you stick around for more. If you're not already, check me out on my other socials, Spooky Mama Glam on Instagram and TikTok as well. Oh, I almost forgot to mention too, onto my lip. I'm going to use this when I do my like 3 looks 1 palette with the Unearthly Cosmetics Gargoyle palette, but I just really wanted to try out the dark gloss from the collection, and I cannot remember for the life of me what this one is called. I think it's Enchanted Ebony or something like that. Anyways, sorry if I got that wrong, but I just wanted to pair it with this look, go for something a little bit more dramatic, and then I also use the Melt Cosmetics Perfectionist Lip Liner. This is from the from the Amore Mariposa line, so it's not available anymore. It's in the shade Familia, but the liner formula is great, so I highly recommend checking them out. Alright, I think that is actually officially it. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!